In the currency quadrant today, taking a look at the September Japanese yen, which had a down week, the second consecutive down week, but not only the second consecutive down week, but the second consecutive week of prices being more than 2.5% lower. Now, this comes after a 3-week streak to the upside that bumped the yen up about 2.68%. Last week reversed all of that and more. And then again, this week, the yen is down over 2.5%. Last week it was down 2.99%. The slight up move today only represented the second session in the last 9 where the yen did not show a lower close. Speaking of that, up just above the flat line today. The high today, 75.37.5, was actually up 0.7%. The low, we weren't down much at all, less than 0.2% at 74.75 versus yesterday's settlement of 74.86. But we finished closer to the flat line, but in the green. So overall, a positive day for the yen. And a bit of that was actually flight to quality, flight to safety. We saw it in gold and silver as well. Now, we have a BOJ meeting next week, the Bank of Japan, and analysts are now speculating that the Bank of Japan may need to pivot at their meeting next week. Japanese PPI was lower than expected in yesterday's data. That doesn't really push the Bank of Japan, but the overall aggressive tone of the central banks after the strong US CPI that we got and the strong verbiage we got out of the ECB has people speculating the Bank of Japan will pivot away from their basically accommodative monetary policy that they said there's no end in sight to. Now, I mentioned that dollar strength. This was a very strong week for the dollar, strongest week since about the week of April 24th. Dollar was up against every major currency for the week, and the high US CPI figures pushed rates and the dollar higher than they were prior. We actually had the 2-year up 21 basis points, the 5-year up 19 basis points, 10-year up 13, the 30-year up 5. This was also a flattening of the curve, but overall rates were higher, stronger dollar. That kept a cap on the yen despite the flight to safety bid that we got.